Subscribe, like, and share so you don't miss out on more amazing contents. Now enjoy the video.
I think Kevin is his brain is the best that I've seen. Brain, we're not talking about the way he sees the game, and this is why we were talking about it a bit before. Because his brain is in some places, I don't know what he thinks about sometimes, fairness. You look at him and it's almost like he's not with us, if you know what I mean, because it's that good, and sometimes it can be a problem because you're not on his level. But I think he's the most clever player I've seen in my life. We're talking about the brain, huh? It's just second to none the way he thinks.
So I would have to say Kevin De Bruyne, to be honest. Like I said, he was a young boy, didn't really get his chance at Chelsea. Like I said, you can't judge him on 4 or 5 games playing here and there. And I say what he's doing today in the Premier League, if he consistently does this for the next 4 or 5 years, he could be up there with the greats, couldn't he?
Yes, I certainly think so. I think we're looking at a Premier League great. I think we'll be saying that in his career. I mean, I was looking at him, his performance today, it's just out. I mean, I was looking at him thinking, who's he like? I was actually thinking Glenn Hoddle. You know, what he can do off his left foot, what he can do off his right foot. So the Glenn Hoddle with legs who can run and still make
This is the incredible story of Kevin De Bruyne. Enjoy.
By the time he's finished.
It all started in his garden, where after repeatedly breaking the pots, his parents forced him to only play with his weak foot. Looking back now, I guess it was a good decision. At 8 years of age, he was already getting into trouble. It had been 2 years since he joined his local club, KVV Tochen, and he was already trying to take the next step in his career, so he quite simply told his coach that training sessions are better at Genk. Knowing the kid was unhappy, convinced him to move all the way across the country, all by himself, to play for them. However, things at Genk didn't get easier. He wasn't a troublemaker, but though he was oddly quiet, he had a really strong character. He was ambitious and overly honest, and it seems that kind of scared away his teammates and even his coaches, who would try their hardest to make him normal. But though they tried a lot, they rarely ever succeeded. With this new family, he felt safe, he wasn't so alone anymore, and it helped him to fit in. After a year, he felt like it had all gone smoothly. He was doing good in school, doing good in football, no fights, no problems. As he waved them goodbye before summer break, his foster family waved back and told him they'd see him next year. But the moment he arrived at his hometown, he walked into his house to find his mom crying. She looked at him and said something that in his own words shaped the rest of his life. The foster family called, and they don't want you there. It's about who you are. They said that you're too quiet, that they can't interact with you, you're just too difficult. De Bruyne obsessed over these words. Over time, news of his great talent traveled far and wide. De Bruyne moved to his new club. In the first, he barely played. In the second, he started getting a few minutes, and by the third, he took the league by storm, getting 5 goals and assisting a further 16, leading Genk to their 3rd league title in their history. Where he arrived at Genk, and I'll just quote him, "I had so much fire inside me, it was mad. I remember the exact moment everything changed. We played on a Friday night, I started on the bench. When I came on the second half, I just went crazy. 1 goal, they don't want you anymore. 2 goals, too quiet. 3 goals, too difficult. 4 goals, they don't want you anymore. 5 goals, because of who you are." I had scored 5 goals in a single half of football. Indeed, the following years were something special.
Hey guys, hope you've been enjoying our content so far. Please, I need your help. I am trying to get up to 100,000 subscribers. I will be very glad and grateful if you guys subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the video.
Kevin De Bruyne and his girlfriend Carolyn had been together for 3 years when Carolyn decided to take an unexpected trip to Madrid. In Madrid, Kevin's friend and international teammate Thibaut Courtois met up with his girlfriend and they had an affair together. To make matters even worse, Carolyn took to an interview to say, "That evening, Thibaut offered me what I had not received from a 3-year relationship with Kevin. When this all happened, Kevin felt betrayed. His teammate and his love both betrayed him." The Belgian coach spoke to Kevin about this and gave him the opportunity to ban Courtois from the national team, but Kevin had mercy. He decided to keep a professional relationship with him despite what had just happened. He would eventually get his revenge against Thibaut, but more on that later. This situation sent Kevin into a dark place which affected his performances on the pitch. One morning in December, Jose Mourinho called Kevin into his office where he told Kevin 1 assist, 0 goals, 10 recoveries. Jose then started to read off the stats of the other midfielders in the Chelsea team, and this is when Kevin realized he had no future at Chelsea.
Just said, like, for me it's better to go. I wanna play football.
On January 18, 2014, Wolfsburg signed De Bruyne for a fee of £18 million, a fee that would come to be seen as one of the biggest bargains in football history. There was a lot of pressure on De Bruyne's shoulders. In just half the season, De Bruyne picked up 3 goals and 7 assists in all competitions. The next year, with a full preseason, De Bruyne showed just how big of a mistake Chelsea had made in getting rid of him. He scored his first goal of the season with a volley from outside the box to salvage a draw against Lille in the Europa League. Later that month, he scored twice against Krasnodar as Wolfsburg secured their first win in the competition. Then in January, he's shown on the biggest stage with everyone.
De Bruyne onside, half the field to himself. Kevin De Bruyne, 3-0 Wolfsburg.
Watching. He scored 2 goals as Wolfsburg shocked the world by defeating Bayern Munich, who hadn't lost a game before that since April of 2014.
It's here between Dante and De Bruyne, which De Bruyne has won. Oh, and he finds the target again. His second of the game.
Then in March, the Belgian got 3 assists as Wolfsburg defeated his former club Werder Bremen 5-3. He even scored in the 2015 DFB Pokal final, ruining Klopp's last game in charge of Borussia Dortmund. In Wolfsburg, we were watching a superstar in the making. De Bruyne ended the league season with 16 goals and 27 assists as Wolfsburg finished second in the Bundesliga. He had shattered the Bundesliga assist record, and there is a reason why the Belgian was named the 2015 Germany Footballer of the Year.
The message for him. Kevin just needs
to send that first text, but now De Bruyne says that she changed his life, that without her, he would have never been able to get out of his shell.
Manchester City, in the last few moments, they have finally wrapped up the deal to bring Kevin De Bruyne to the Premier League, back to the Premier League.
It represents the biggest transfer of the summer so far.
Kevin, welcome to Manchester City. The deal has finally gone through. How are you feeling?
De Bruyne didn't need to prove Pep Guardiola wrong. He wanted to prove him right, and with every season that came after that, claims that he wasn't anything more than a Chelsea flop crumbled bit by bit.
This season, in the build-up to the Champions League final,
well,
Man
thanks
City
to De
faced Real
Bruyne,
Madrid,
City were back
Kevin
in another Champions League final.
And in the first leg, Kevin got his revenge. But this season was bigger than that. He completed the historic treble with Manchester City by winning the Premier League, the Champions League, and the FA Cup. He wrote his name in footballing history. And one more important thing, he wrote his name in footballing history.
BB's tears of sadness turned to tears of joy.
3, 2, 1.
We have huge breaking news. We're going to be hearing from Pep Guardiola very shortly. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about a statement just released by Kevin De Bruyne, and it does look like he's going to be leaving
Manchester City
He has
at
put a
the
post
end
on
of
his social
this
media,
season. He has just put out a message to all City fans and to football fans of all clubs saying thanks for everything.
Kevin De Bruyne has taken a lot of the plaudits this season for City, and deservedly so, in your opinion.
Yeah, he looks so comfortable, very, very gifted, and those passes, slide rule passes that he plays in behind the defence, or the crosses that he's whipping in, just sensational.
I can see when you talk about this, you'd like to have been the centre forward in this current.
Well, as I said, for a forward to be playing in this Manchester City side, it's just goals.
Kevin is one of the best players I ever seen in my life. In terms of he can make absolutely everything. He's a top quality player. So we are so proud. We're so proud and so happy he is with us.
As he walked off the pitch for the last time, one thing was certain. Kevin De Bruyne wasn't just a City legend, he was footballing royalty. But what's next? Will he seek one last challenge in a new league? Or return home to Belgium, where it all began? Wherever he goes, one thing is certain. Kevin De Bruyne's influence on Manchester City and football as a whole will never be forgotten.